She said it smiling, cake knife in her hand, my son's candles still smoking. "Study hard, sweetie, don't end up like your father." The room laughed the way people laugh when they don't know they've crossed a line yet. My son looked at me, 10 years old enough to hear it, old enough to feel the insult land like a quiet bruise. I felt nothing at first. That was the warning sign. When anger doesn't rush in, it sharpens instead. I set my fork down, folded the napkin, stood up. I packed our gifts, his backpack, the jacket he always forgets. I knelt, zipped it slowly, kissed his hair and told him we were leaving. Then I looked at my mother. "You won't be seeing him anymore." Silence hit the room harder than any scream could have. Plates froze midair. My mother blinked, still holding the knife, like she couldn't compute a world where her words had consequences. I walked out while everyone watched. That was the end. But it didn't start there. She wasn't always like this, or maybe I just didn't see it. When I was younger, she was charm and authority wrapped in perfume. She had opinions that sounded like wisdom if you didn't question them too closely. She loved loudly, but conditionally. Praise came with strings, disapproval came with exile. When I married my husband, she smiled too wide. She called him ambitious. Later, when he left, she changed the word to unstable. She rewrote history like it was a hobby. The divorce was quiet, no cheating, no explosions, just erosion, two people pulling in opposite directions until the rope frayed. He moved out, we shared custody, we stayed civil, we stayed parents. My mother didn't like that. She wanted a villain. She wanted me broken enough to need her. I noticed it in pieces, the way she spoke to my son when she thought I wasn't listening. Little digs disguised as guidance, comparisons slipped into bedtime stories, warnings dressed as jokes. "He gets that from his father," she'd say, whenever my son struggled, never when he succeeded. I corrected her, calmly, repeatedly. She didn't stop. Then came the messages, screenshots sent by my ex at first, confused more than angry. My mother advising him on custody, on my instability, on how he should protect my son from me. I read them without blinking. That was when the planning began. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I gathered evidence. Every text, every voicemail, dates, times, patterns. I spoke to a lawyer without telling anyone. I spoke to a therapist, not because I was breaking, but because I needed clarity, documentation, ground. I tightened boundaries quietly, shorter visits, supervised excuses, neutral drop-offs. I watched her push back harder every time control slipped from her fingers. She thought she was subtle. She wasn't. The plan wasn't dramatic. That's what made it perfect. I updated custody agreements, added clauses, shared concerns backed by proof. The court didn't see a bitter daughter. They saw a parent protecting a child from emotional harm. I spoke to family members individually, not to smear, to inform. I showed them messages, let them reach their own conclusions. Her social circle thinned without me lifting a finger. The birthday party was her stage. She didn't know it was also her exit. When she said it, when she looked my son in the eyes and weaponized his future, I felt the click, the final piece locking into place. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't explain. I denied her the argument she'd rehearsed for years. I left. By the time she realized I was serious, it was already done. Now she calls, every day, apologies mixed with accusations, tears followed by threats. She tells me I'm cruel, that I'm overreacting, that I'm punishing her. She's right about one thing. I am. But not for what she thinks. I didn't cut her off because she insulted my ex. I cut her off because she tried to teach my son that love comes with humiliation, that authority gets to rewrite truth, that family can hurt you and call it concern. I won't let him grow up thinking that's normal. I sleep better now. My house is quieter, lighter. My son laughs without flinching. He talks about school without fear of comparison. He doesn't hear whispers about the man who taught him how to ride a bike. Justice doesn't always look like revenge. Sometimes it looks like absence, and sometimes the most devastating thing you can say is nothing at all, right before you walk away and never look back.